Good evening and welcome to Bulldog Basketball on Bulldog TV. My name's Stephen Hodges, coming to you from the sunny valley of strawberries and tri-tip, that is Santa Maria, California. We're here inside the capital of basketball in the city, Joe White Memorial Gymnasium on that campus of Allen Hancock College. Big thing on everyone's mind, I'm sure with everything going on in the world, this is the most important thing you're thinking about. What are the odds of Hancock going to playoffs in basketball? Same thing that's on everyone's mind, and the answer is different for the two different teams. So bear with me as we walk through this for both the men and women. We'll start with the men. Men are in trouble because of the categories that they look at, they're really struggling in two very important ones. RPI and quality wins. Well, what is RPI and what are quality wins? Well, RPI is a statistic derived from basically strength of schedule. What is your record? What are the records of your opponents? And what are the records of those opponents? That generates a number that's going to give you your RPI. That's one of the things that they're going to look at. How strong were the teams that you played? Second one, of the teams that you beat, how strong were they? That's where quality wins comes in. It's not a question of how nice the campus is, anything like that. It's purely how many of the teams that you played are over 500, which is to say they won more games than they lost. Well, Hancock has won quite a number of games on the men's side. However, none of those wins have come against teams with records with more wins than losses. So that puts them in a little bit of a pickle. The big good news for Hancock, though, is that their destiny is still in their own hands. If they win out, the men win out, they win conference, and with it, an automatic bid into the playoffs. That's what's on the line tonight as they play Ventura, the current number one team in the conference being the Western State North Conference. Ventura, major player in the sport, very good at basketball, both men and women's. The men have not lost a game outside of a tournament played at the College of Sequoia's campus in Visalia. They've won every single game in conference. Outside of conference, you name it. In that game, those games in Sequoia's, it looks like they were shorthanded. So it's going to be a big deal if Hancock's able to come away with the win tonight. So we'll be doing a little bit of scoreboard watching here tonight as we watch the women play a makeup game against Oxnard. Now, what's the women's route to playoffs? Happy that you asked. The women are in the opposite situation of the men. They have no route to win conference. They lost all of their games against Ventura and Moore Park, but have beaten all the teams beneath them in the standings. The Western State Conference North is a competitive enough of a conference that they've sent 4 teams to playoffs out of the women's side before. So it's not out of the question that the women are still in play for a playoff spot. However, that comes with a big if. That's if they can beat Oxnard tonight. This is the final game of the season. This is a makeup game that was pushed back, and this is a game that is going to have a lot of consequences when it comes to playoffs. If they are able to win, it's going to show that they're a hot team, that they're a team that's going to be, able to hold themselves up in the playoffs and maybe make some things happen. Because unlike the men, they have some big quality wins. Look, throughout the year, they have beaten Solano, who is 15-10, Mount San Jacinto, who's 21-5, and Orange Coast, who's 19-8, as of the standings pulled up earlier today. So those are some big-name teams. That shows that this women's team is capable of making some noise come playoffs. Difference between them and the men, another one, is that they're not getting ranked as high as the men are. That's another one of those factors that this committee that's getting together on Sunday is going to look at when it comes to who deserves to be in this big dance for 3C2A. Women coming in unranked. The men ranked number 26. So there's a lot of question marks in the air as to what's going to happen. And not making that air any more clear is all these rescheduled games evaporating. A lot of teams just deciding it's not worth the trip to go play a team that they rescheduled in January here at the end of the year. So we're very thankful Oxnard came up to come play this game because it could be very meaningful. And in addition, it gives the women here another chance to play the sport before they potentially call it a career, at least a career at Oxnard. So that's going to be what's on the line here tonight. Big game for both of these teams, and a big game away from this gymnasium being played simultaneously in Ventura for the Hancock men. Now, this isn't sophomore night. We're not going to have any of those proceedings tonight. That was on Friday against L.A. Pierce, the last game that this Hancock women's team played. Of course, is sophomore night, so the two teams could celebrate one another as well as celebrate everyone at once because there's not going to be a doubleheader game for the rest of the season. It's tonight against Oxnard, and then on Friday, we're going to come back to Joe White Memorial Gym or it's going to be the men against Ventura. It's going to be the second game of that series. And again, the men really would like to take both those games if they can. They need to take at least one. They want to have a chance at sharing that conference championship with Ventura. That said, let's talk more about these women. After all, it is ladies' night. You look at the last game they played, they were unbelievable. They beat LA Pierce quite soundly. 84-23 was the final score, and they could have done it all off of one player's points. That player, J.C. Bain, finished the game with 35 points. A career high for her, the sophomore, making the most of sophomore night, and one of the top scoring performances in Hancock history. It really was fantastic to see. That said, it wasn't just J.C. getting it done. Kayla Taylor showed that it was sophomore night's Taylor's version. She put in 20 points of her own, 14 rebounds on top of that. She almost had a double-double in the first quarter, something that you rarely ever see. And on top of that, the women blanked the Brahmas in the first quarter. A wonderful effort all around for the Bulldogs. However, didn't do a lot of wonders for their RPI, as that number is going to reduce when you're talking about a team that has not won many games, as LA Pierce has struggled throughout the year to do. But on top of that, you can get a little overconfident in that. So they're going to have to bounce back against this capable Condors team. Condors are in a similar boat to Hancock, where they've beaten the teams underneath them, but struggled against the teams above them. In fact, Oxnard, second to last in the conference, has only beaten LA Pierce. They lost to Santa Barbara City College, Cuesta, Moore Park, and Ventura. Last time these two teams played, it was a pretty tight affair, with Oxnard coming just outside that range that you want to see. They lost by 9. 58-49 was the final score, and between these two teams, it was really a good game. Players on both sides showed up well. I mean, J.C. Bain had 25 points, 7 rebounds. We talked about Kayla Taylor earlier. She had another double-double, one of the many in her career here at Hancock, with 18 points and 11 rebounds. And that's really going to be the players that we're going to keep an eye on tonight. In particular, Kayla Taylor should be a strong game for her tonight. As you look at what Oxnard's capable of on the court, they're one of the more struggling teams when it comes to being in the paint. They rank 74th in the state in rebounds per game with 33.4. And a lot of that comes down to height. You compare these two teams just right across the tape. Tallest player on the Condors is Denise Dominguez, center, coming from Oxnard, California, went to Channel Islands High School. She's 5'9". Well, you look at the Hancock women, you've got Kayla Taylor sitting at 5'11". Krista Anderson also at 5'11". J.C. Bain, 5'9". Carly Salorio, also 5'9". So height-wise, a lot of advantages going towards the Bulldogs. Bulldogs also, when it comes to rebounding, pretty good. They get 41 per game, good for 28th in the state. So huge discrepancy there when it comes to paint presence. Will that be the deciding factor tonight? We'll see. The Condors are fantastic shooting outside of the paint. You look at some of their better players. You got Loomis, who averages 14.5 points per game. She shoots 49% from the field. Pretty solid shooter, as well as Stella Miranda, who's going to be coming in, averaging 12 points per game, 5 rebounds. All around, strong players for the Condors. There's a lot on the line tonight for the Bulldogs, a lot on the line tonight for the Condors. This is going to be their final game. You always want to end your career on a high note. Are they going to be capable of that tonight? We're going to see. Tip-off is coming right up here in a moment. You're watching Bulldog basketball on Bulldog TV on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on Bulldog TV. My name's Stephen Hodges, and we're going to be going over the starters here in just a moment on the floor. And I tell you what, the presence of Herb Adams immediately missed. I always appreciate hearing the anthem, but it's always better when it's sung by somebody that has had as big of a history as Herb. If you've never met Herb, he's probably the only person you will ever meet that played the South Vietnam anthem as part of a military band. Very few people can put that claim on their resume as South Vietnam no longer a country. As we welcome on to the starters for the Condors, it's Bianca Naranjo, Sofia Maldonado, Stella Miranda, Victoria Gonzalez, and Michaela Loomis. For the Bulldogs, we'll be seeing Julia Manis, Kayla Taylor, Alex Paquette, JC Bain, and Carly Salorio. So a little bit of a change up with Salorio entering in the lineup here. Salorio, big fan of her. She's one of those players that can make a presence down there in the paint, and I think that's really where Coach Novelli is going to be emphasizing. We talked about the rebound difference that led to their victory in this last game. So really a strong lineup coming out. I'd like to see what Julia Manis is capable of. Last game that they played, Julia had 30 minutes with 0 points despite 4 field goal attempts. So Manis going to be under the microscope a little bit tonight. We'll see if she's able to put more points on the board than she did on the last outing between these two teams. While we're welcoming on the team, I'm going to bring it up. Hey, you like golf? You like Bulldog basketball? Of course you do. You're watching this stream. April 4th, there's going to be a golf tournament for the benefit of Hancock College. If you're interested in it, go check the website. There's details for sponsorship opportunities, raffle opportunities. It's also going to involve a dinner while watching the Final Four of the NCAA tournament. So a lot of fun to be had. Hope to see you there. It's going to be April 4th at the Santa Maria Country Club. Again, details on the website, athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Coming out to take this tip off, it's going to be Kayla Taylor versus Victoria Gonzalez in the center there. Or sorry, that's going to be Michaela Loomis instead. And you can see the height difference just looking right across that Bulldog logo between Taylor and Loomis. Tip-off won by the Bulldogs right to J.C. Bain. She's going to take a shot outside the key and sink it. J.C. Bain, a fantastic shooter, one of the higher scorers in school history. And unfortunately, she missed some games during her career. Otherwise, I think you'd be looking at all-time numbers because she got that extra year of eligibility due to that COVID NCAA whole situation. Now with the ball, it's Stella Miranda. She's going to dish it out to Sofia Maldonado. Maldonado going to be by the free throw line. She's going to be squaring up against Julia Manis. Manis getting some pressure. Going to force the ball out to the outside where it's Miranda. Miranda outside the key, off the backboard, into the hands of Salorio. Salorio is going to find J.C. Bain. Going to take it up that wing and look for some opportunities. She's going to find Manis down by the bottom of the three-point arc. She's going to go backwards, sky hook it towards the rim, just come off the side and get her own rebound. Out beyond the arc to Alex Paquette. Back to J.C. Bain, who's going to reset the situation and reassess where they're at. She gets the easy pass into Paquette. She looks at the rim, pulls it back down, fires from inside the arc. That's going to be another 2 points for Bain. Off to an early start here with the first 4 points as we are off to a blazing start. Just a minute in. Long shot here by Gonzalez off the rim. Going to be pick up her own rebound. Off the backboard, off the rim, and into the hands of Salorio. Julia Manis now trying to find some room. Can't find it, gets it back out to Alex Paquette. J.C. Bain handling the ball and just staring people down. She's going to find Julia Manis outside the arc, and then back to Bain. Bain going to drive the lane, fires it up off the back of the rim, and it's going to be touched by Salorio into the hands of J.C. Bain, though. So we talked about that rebound advantage. Already the Bulldogs showing that they can get this ball as J.C. Bain putting it from the corner. Good for 3. First 7 points of the game, all going to number 23, making the big plays happen early and getting a big stretch between the Bulldogs and the Condors. This is Victoria Gonzalez going to turn it over, get it right into the hands of Julia Manis. Manis, no points yet, but making her presence known. Bain going to find Taylor at the corner. Down to Manis in the paint. She's going to bounce it back out to Salorio. Salorio with an open shot, sinks it. First point scored by a player not named J.C. Bain. And it's going to cause a 30-second timeout by the Condors. We're going to take a quick moment to thank our sponsors, Cool Hand Lukes and Home Motors Chevrolet. Thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back to athletics.hancockcollege.edu. My name's Stephen Hodges. We're coming to you from Joe White Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Allen Hancock College. Bulldogs jumping out to a big lead behind 7 points from J.C. Bain and 2 points from Krista Salorio. This is going to be just a plain turnover. Miscommunication by the Condors. You hate to see that, as Maldonado had a play set up, had the right idea in mind, and whoever was supposed to be catching that pass, nowhere to be found. Bulldog ball. Bain going to take her time crossing half court. Kayla Taylor directing traffic on the other side, setting up a play with all the players on the corners. A crossing player was Alex Paquette, who's open in the corner. She's going to take it from the corner back up to the wing and reset to J.C. Bain in the corner. Puts up a three, sinks it. Beautiful shot, beautiful pass. Paquette to Bain. Seen that quite a bit, but Bain already into double digits on her score total. Loomis from the point. You expect to see her down by the paint, but I think they're trying to find any sort of lane that they can open things up and are changing things up. This is going to be the first points for the Condors. Stella Miranda getting those. Miranda's going to have to be a big part of this game tonight. She had 15 the last time these two teams played. Averages 12 points per game. So going to have to be a big player here tonight if they're going to crawl back in, especially down 10 early. Alex Paquette from the corner. This one off the rim and out. Manis had a hand on it, but it's going to be a Condor coming up with it. Looked like Loomis. Actually, no, that was Victoria Gonzalez. Long shot here by Sofia Maldonado. Drains the three, and that lead is going to start to dwindle. Bulldogs got to get a hold on it. J.C. Bain dribbles across half court, finds out Alex Paquette. Alex dishes it back to Bain, wide open, and a long three just off the rim. And it's going to be rebounded by Loomis. Condors coming back with some speed with Estelle Miranda. She finds Gonzalez. Back to Miranda. We haven't seen much of this point guard play as this is picked off by J.C. Bain, who's got a clear lane and lays it up off the backboard in the front of the rim. That one's killer. Just on Friday, we saw her take a steal the full length of the court and stare down Abrama, get a clear shot. It is an amazing play. But here it's going to be Loomis. One-on-one against Salorio. Dishes it out to Miranda, who drains the two. Gonzalez, who drains the two. And it's going to be Paquette carrying it across half court. Finds Bain on the Joe White logo over there. And then it's Manis to Paquette. Another deep three from that corner. This right corner has been red hot for the Bulldogs, but the shots are not sinking like they were before. However, you always are going to take that wide open shot. This is going to be a long one by Estelle Miranda, and she drains this. This is going to make it a 2-point game suddenly. The Condors coming back with some speed after that timeout. You take that 30-second timeout, hope to regather, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but really got their feet back under them. This is a competitive game once again as it's Manis on that corner, gets it to Paquette at the top, and she's going to bounce it off the rim. Long shots for the Bulldogs, not sinking. They might need to try and penetrate into the key a little further because this is not working out. Condor ball going the other way. Got to be Maldonado. Maldonado fakes, gets it into Loomis. Loomis drives the lane, gets it up off the board, and it's a tie game once again. And this is going to be a timeout Bulldogs. After coming out screaming, a huge lead for the Bulldogs, the Condors take a timeout, reverse their fortunes, and now it's Bulldogs' turn to get their feet back under them. We're going to take a timeout with them. Oxford Sweets, thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back. Welcome back to athletics.hancockcollege.edu. You're watching Bulldog basketball. My name's Stephen Hodges. So we've seen an early lead from the Bulldogs evaporate completely. Tie game with 4:23 left in the first. And these girls are trying to figure out how to get this ball going again. It's going to go to Kayla Taylor, to Salorio. Salorio off the rim and in. It's exactly what we were talking about. They are taking these long three-point shots that were not sitting. That one sits. I think Kayla Taylor is going to be a key here going forward as the Condors switching some players around. But it's going to go right to Loomis, who did not move her feet that entire play set. She's going to drive, get it to sink, round the rim and in. Kayla Taylor inbounds to J.C. Bain. He's going to take it across half court. Julia Manis staring down her defender. Nothing. It's going to go to Alex Paquette, who dishes it to Taylor, and Taylor unable to complete the pass. She was looking for Salorio, who is running the baseline. Coming back the other way is Victoria Gonzalez, who had the steal. She dishes it off to Stella Miranda. Miranda to Naranjo. Back to Loomis. Loomis has been a major factor in this Condor comeback we've seen so far. And she's going to get it out back to Gonzalez, and that one's good for 3. Going to be a Condor lead. First Condor lead of the game, and it's going to come with just more than 3 minutes left in the first. Manis gets it into Salorio. Back to Manis. That one's off the rim. This one out on the baseline. Condor ball. Talked about how the rebound discrepancy should go the way of the Bulldogs, as Jessica Early is going to check in for Julia Manis. We have not seen that to be the case here. Is getting back in here. You look at the total rebounds right now, 7 for the Condors, 4 for the Bulldogs. Big gap early in a field where the Bulldogs expected to come in and really dominate, as it's going to be Loomis again sinking the points. 19-14, Condor lead. A game that the Bulldogs aren't technically a must-win, but really should win if they expect to get this one done. They want to make playoffs. This is where you got to really figure this game out. Now entering for the Condors, Denise Dominguez. Dominguez, a big player for the Condors, averages about 10 points a game. It's going to be Salorio to Paquette to Early, down to Bain. Bain looks at the rim, tries to get the no-look pass. She was looking to Jessica Early, trying to get Kayla Taylor in the paint, but off a foot and out, and that's going to end up being Condor ball once again. A 19-2 streak for the Condors that Bulldogs have not been able to break. That could have been a good turning point, but the pass of Miranda deflected but remains in Condor hands. It's going to be Loomis driving on Salorio, ends up turning it over into the hands of Kayla Taylor, going back the other way. It's Alex Paquette. Paquette finds J.C. Bain. Again, looks at the rim back out. Kayla Taylor well outside of the key where she normally finds her home, but still making some plays happen. Jessica Early dishes over to J.C. Bain. To Alex Paquette. Paquette tries to find Salorio, and it's going to be off a foot and back along the baseline. Bulldogs remain in possession, but these passes to the key have been getting disrupted by the Condors time and time again. Really some problems with the passing. As it's going to be Paquette out to Bain. Bain for 3. Yes! That'll snap this little run that the Condors have been on, but they still find themselves down by 2 as the Condors cross center court with Navarro. Or excuse me, Maldonado. Maldonado out beyond the arc by quite a bit. Maldonado dishes down to Loomis. Loomis trying to see where she can find that lane. She's seen that she can drive the ball quite well. She's going to take a deep 2. And this one off the rim and out. Jessica Early getting the ball. Jessica Early is a player that I love watching play. She doesn't average many points, 1.4 points per game, but every other type of play she makes happen. She gets assists, gets rebounds. She's really a great facilitator of the ball. As this one comes off the rim from Kayla Taylor and out. Condors driving the lane. Kayla Taylor picks the pocket. Gets the steal, immediately gives it to Alex Paquette. Paquette drives the lane, gets a layup up, and this one will score. It's a tie game once again. Just under a minute to play in the first. Crossing midcourt is the Condors. Maldonado with it. Maldonado found Dominguez, who found Loomis. And that ball's going the other way. It was Salorio with the steal. Paquette driving the lane, sinks it. Now suddenly the Bulldogs back out in front, but with how this game started, they'd expect themselves to be in a much better position. Condors not going quietly into that dark night. Maldonado looking for some help. She's going to find Loomis at the top of the key. Gets it back out to Dominguez. Dominguez back down, and it's going to be Loomis right by the rim, and Kayla Taylor is going to get a little bit of contact. It's going to send Loomis to the line. As far as people go, Loomis is not someone you want to send to the line. She's one of the larger people on the team for the Condors, But don't take that to mean she doesn't know how to shoot free throws. She averages 72% of her free throws. First one's good, as you would expect from someone that's shooting beyond 70% at the free throw line. And second one's going to sit as well. That brings it to a tie game. 11 seconds left. They're going to roll this one in to conserve some clock. J.C. Bain gets it, but she's pressured by Maldonado. Gets it over to Jessica Early. Jessica Early facilitates that pass over to Bain. J.C. Bain for three. That's going to do it, too, for the end of the first quarter. Bulldogs scavenge a three-point lead through a very tough quarter against these Condors. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, we want to thank Community Bank of Santa Maria, home of Santa Maria-style banking, and California Electrical Supply. Thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back with the second quarter of action. You're watching Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. We promised you we'd be scoreboard watching a little bit tonight, and that's the case. We're going to take a look into Ventura, where the Bulldogs men's team finds themselves playing the Pirates. Hancock currently trails 6-8 in the first half, 15:49 left to play in that one. We appreciate you keeping it tuned here for the women's game. Currently, Bulldogs find themselves in the lead 24-21. Through a fantastic quarter for J.C. Bain. 16 points in that quarter alone. On the other side for the Condors, it's another player having a fantastic night. Malika Loomis, 8 points. Rebound, 2 assists. As we're going to start this one, ball's in the hands of Stella Miranda. She's going to pass it off to Maldonado. He gets it down to Loomis. Loomis pulls up, drops the easy shot. She really bullied her way in there as is Salorio defending her. But Salorio out of legal ways to defend that. Kayla Taylor by the free throw line. Gets it back and passes it right back to Paquette. J.C. Bain back to Alex Paquette. It's Salorio down at the bottom of the key by the baseline. Paquette's going to drive the lane, get it back out to Salorio. Salorio with a long shot and sinks it. Salorio, not normally the one that you look at as far as, snipers, but she can drain the shots as well as most of them. 51% from the field. This is going to be Maldonado getting it out to Miranda, to Dominguez. Back to, excuse me. Back to Miranda, and then Salorio with the steal off the pass when they're looking for Loomis. Loomis really the focus of that offense for the Condors as Kayla Taylor has it in the key and lays this one in. Assisted by Jessica Early there. Real clear pass there, crisp, just perfectly timed. That window was closing fast. And this one, a near miss as J.C. Bain had it in her hands and lost control. Entering in the game for the Condors in relief of Loomis. It's going to be Naomi Navarro from Channel Islands High School. She averages 3.2 points per game, 3.1 rebounds. And Maldonado going to be dictating play, getting it over to Naranjo. Back to Maldonado, who's going to get it back. Fired off the backboard into the hands of J.C. Bain. J.C. Bain, not normally the one at that baseline, but makes it work. Bain dishes out to Jessica Early, has the clear shot, pulls up, takes their dribble, fires it, and gets the points on the board. As we said, Early, fantastic facilitator. You don't see her pull the shot up that often, but makes it look effortless there. That's again Maldonado dictating action. Got it to Miranda. Miranda drains the three-pointer. And that's going to make it a 4-point difference here. Just about 2 gone here in the second quarter. Tomorrow's going to be the biggest Tuesday of your life. 2:22-22. J.C. Bain from outside the arc. It's to Jessica Early out to Alex Paquette. Paquette going to take a chance to drive the lane off the back of the rim. Going to be into the hands of the Condors. Denise Dominguez with the rebound. They're going to get the hands into their steady playmaker there. and is Sophia Maldonado. Stella Miranda had to fight through some contact to get out there, and she just gives it right back. A lot of effort for not a lot of gain. Denise Dominguez drops it down to Miranda, though. Miranda shoots, scores. J.C. Bain into the hands of Paquette to Early. Back to Paquette. J.C. Bain with a lot of room for that three and just has it settle. You know, I had a chance to watch Alex Paquette warming up today, and she was sinking it from everywhere. And I was surprised to see her pass up that shot. But J.C. Bain, a lot of room beyond the arc, gets that just beautiful pass. Fantastic playmaking by the Bulldogs. As the Condors making some plays here, but turned over. Trying to make it happen in the ugly space down at the base of the key. And Jessica Early doing her best to save that one. But really, this game has been dictated by who can get the ball to just sit, whether it's getting that pass into the key where there's been a lot of traffic on both sides of the court, or make those three-pointers from distance. There hasn't been a lot of clean plays available outside of the arc. So the team that's been getting those dirty plays to sit have been doing well. And as we talk about that, Malika Loomis back in the lineup for the Condors. And she's been one of those players that has been able to get those dirty plays to work, as it's Kayla Taylor beating her to the rebound. Taylor dishes it to Paquette, who finds J.C. Bain streaking down the court. Bain crosses up the opponent, in and out and back in. That'll be good for two. J.C. Bain, not an easy person to defend one-on-one like that, as she's able to get that shot pulled up. They're going to take a 30-second timeout on the floor, so we'll go ahead and take it with them. Just want to thank our sponsors real quick. Cool Hand Lukes, thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball and Athletics.HancockCollege.edu. I'm Stephen Hodges, and we're coming to you live from Joe White Memorial Gymnasium on the Hancock campus. We're taking a look at the game going on in Ventura. While we're watching this game here right now, Bulldogs men's team down by 2 in Ventura, 13-11 that score with 12:45 left in the first. Meanwhile, the women sitting pretty right now, 35-28. Not often you see multiples of 7 on the scoreboard at the same time, but here we are. That's Loomis dictating action for the Condors. She's going to get it around to Gonzalez. Gonzalez going to try and take a quick pass, but J.C. Bain gets her hands up, gets the steal. This is going the other way. Bain having a fantastic night so far tonight. Sitting on 21 points. She got a great play there down to Manis, who got that basket in there. And the Bulldogs really doing a good job as this game goes on, getting their hands up and disrupting the passes of the Condors. That's something that when the Condors streaked back to tie the game in the first quarter, we weren't seeing a lot of. They were kind of playing man and kind of just making sure that their person didn't get the ball. But when you're not playing team defense, you're going to get torn apart, and that's what allowed the Condors back into it. Here we're seeing good team defense. Great example here. Trap sprung, going to force the jump ball. Ball's going to go to the Bulldogs by the hands of Jessica Early and Alex Paquette. Just springing the trap on the inbound and getting a double team. Now entering for the Condors, it's Estelle Miranda re-entering. Alex Paquette looking for some help. She's going to try and find J.C. Bain. Bain was guarded well there by Naranjo, but ultimately got free. Alex Paquette, we talked about her shooting earlier in this game. How warming up, it looked like she could not miss, and there, that one won't miss at all. Sits perfectly from beyond the arc. Good for 3. It's Miranda. Just shooting that out to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to find Loomis beyond the arc. Back to Miranda. Estelle Miranda tries to drive the lane, draws a foul. Could have been on a couple different players. Looks like it's going to be a charge to Alex Paquette. So Condors getting a chance to do a set play. They haven't allowed a lot of those off the baseline yet tonight. But going to just take this simple way out. Naranjo setting up, going to find Loomis coming out beyond the arc, and that's where the Bulldogs want to see her. Loomis is a fantastic force in the key where she drives, but is turned away by Kayla Taylor. Bulldog with a big block on Malika Loomis. Loomis really has been the queen of the paint so far in this game. As this inbound is going to go to Stella Miranda, who's going to make it good from 3. Jessica Early dishes it to Julia Manis. Manis finds Kayla Taylor in the paint. Kayla tries to go for the shot and gets knocked down during the process. I think she felt the contact and just decided to put something up to try and get to the free throw line. Was she successful? You betcha. Heading to the line. Naranjo getting her first foul of the game. First team foul of the second quarter. Kayla Taylor is going to the line. Kayla Taylor shoots about 60%, 59.6 to be exact. First one's good, makes it an even 10-point margin for the Bulldogs. This one off the back of the rim. Jessica Early battled Loomis, but Loomis coming down with the rebound, setting up the Condors in good position. Let me say it's Maldonado. She dishes out to Stella Miranda, back to Loomis. Loomis gonna find Maldonado, looks for the shot, but no one there. She's gonna drive the lane, had an open lane, and again, Kayla Taylor shutting the door. Gonna be hard for the Condors to get that space as long as Kayla Taylor is along the baseline. And as I say that, Kayla Taylor coming out, in comes Carly Salorio. From beyond 3, it's Estelle Miranda. Rebound goes back into the hands of the Condors. Shot goes up. Victoria Gonzalez going to be sent to the line from the looks of it. No, they're just going to say this is an inbound. But could be going right back to Gonzalez as she's up beyond the arc and open. And set back down to Loomis. Loomis. I think Alex Paquette got a hand on that as that one went straight up and down and into the hands of J.C. Bain. And Julia Manis now with the ball. She tries to get something going down by the key. Nothing going there. Alex Paquette with a lot of room and off the back of the rim into the hands of Julia Manis. Manis drives the key. Back outside to Jessica Early. Finds Paquette. Paquette to Bain. Bain with an open shot. That one off the rim as well. Some good shot clock resets, but not a lot more than that on that possession. As the Condors carrying it the other way. Maldonado putting up a long shot. This one will sink. Nothing but net from the just fantastic shot of the Oxnard point guard. Early to Paquette. Back to Early. Early with a lot of room. This one will go. 3-pointer from Jessica Early. Jessica Early only shoots 10% beyond the arc typically. Tonight, a little higher than that. This is going to be the Condors. Loomis driving into the area underneath the basket. Swatted away by Salorio. Into the hands of J.C. Bain now. Bain going to find Manis with some room. Manis puts it up off the rim. Manis struggled the last time these two teams played. She's not getting it done on the scoreboard, but making things happen off the ball. A lot of room here for Naranjo. But this ball's going to end up in the Bulldogs' hands. Jessica Early with the rebound. Back to J.C. Bain. Bain going to find Salorio with the layup. Salorio just got her hands up. Bain found the target, and it's as easy as that in transition. The Condors coming back the other way. They're going to take their time and catch their breath a little bit. Get a good set play set up with the players lining up on the corners. Ball's going to go into the hands of Naranjo. To Loomis. Loomis looking around the side. It's going to be Miranda who feeds it into the key. Shot up off the front of the rim into the hands of J.C. Bain. She's got Salorio down at the baseline, but going to take it herself from the outside of the key. That's going to settle and off the ground where she drew the and one. Fantastic individual effort from Bain, getting the rebound from one baseline and driving it all the way to the far side. Get the 2 points and now a free throw for the and one. Bain, a renowned shooter. She's not even, close from the free throw line. We saw that in Cuesta game where she was able to sink free throw after free throw, and that ended up being the difference. Here she's on the line. She shoots about 75%. And she'll get this one good. Maldonado with the inbound. Victoria Gonzalez is going to be trying to help her break this full court pressure, but going to be turned over. Maldonado was looking for the breakout pass and just ended up throwing it a little high. So it's going to be Bulldog ball once again. 49-34 the score, 1:40 left in the second quarter. Manis out to Early, drops it to Taylor. Taylor finding that little bit of room with a little bit of a charge. No whistle, though. And Manis going to make that turnover happen regardless, as she's looking for a pass and just didn't quite have the handle on it. And that's going to be a Condor ball. Naranjo could have the inbound, and right next to her is going to be Stella Miranda. Now coming on for the Bulldogs, Krista Anderson, who had a fantastic game against the Brahmas on Friday night. And Loomis going to lose the ball at Krista Anderson, immediately making an impact for the Dogs. From the corner, it's Jessica Early, who can't miss tonight. She's going to be the complete package tonight, I tell you that. You know, normally you say, all right, she's not a great shooter, but on the ball, off the ball, she's getting everything done. But a wide open shot from Maldonado, this is going to miss the net entirely. Going to be Bulldog ball at the baseline. Jessica Early with the inbound. (52-34) the score as we get under a minute left to play in this first half. J.C. Bain staring down the Condor defense. Gets it to Jessica Early. Finds Kayla Taylor at the top of the key. She recycles it to Krista Anderson. Finds J.C. Bain, who penetrates to Kayla Taylor. Can't keep the ball or her footing, as that ball is going to be lost and into the hands of the Condors. Condors going wide, just as you'd expect a wingspan of Condor to go. They're going to try and break this full court pressure using every resource available, but they got to be careful. There's not a lot of time left. As the ball's going to finally come into the front court, it's going to be Loomis to Naranjo. Naranjo drives the lane and gets the 2 points. Shot clock turned off as we're under 30 now, so they're going to look to get one shot here. You can hear Coach Carrie Norelli dictating the plan. Jessica Early coming up to the ball, as well as Krista Anderson on these wings here. Going to be Jessica Early getting this. Back to J.C. Bain. She looks at the rim, comes back, takes a step, takes a shot, and going to be a jump ball. So this will be possession Condors. They'll have 3 seconds to get a shot off. They haven't had a lot of big shots yet. It's been Estelle Miranda primarily. They're going to trust her to take a shot here, and that's not going to get close. So that'll be the end of the first half of action. Bulldogs walk away with a big lead. 16 points over the Condors, 52-36. We'll take a quick look at Ventura before we call it a first half, as the Pirates currently lead the Bulldogs big time, 28-18, 7:51 left in the first half there. We hope you come back here in just a few minutes. We'll have some halftime stats for you, break down what we've seen, and talk a little bit more about what's going on. So stick tight. We'll be back in about 5 with some halftime stats. You're watching Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldogs basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Stephen Hodges, and I got some halftime stats for you, as you'd expect one of the statisticians on staff here at Hancock to have. So why don't we break it down a little bit? We'll start with Oxnard. Current leading scorer for the Condors is Stella Miranda. She's got 13 points, 2 assists, and a rebound. And really, she's been fantastic from range. That has been the story of this. There's been some clear looks from range, but getting to the key has been a problem for both teams. Normally, that player in the key, that would be the focus of everything going on, kind of the center of the world for the Condors. Malika Loomis, 10 points, 3 assists, and a rebound. And she's only 500 from the field so far this game. The emphasis for the Bulldogs has really been shutting her down. And we've been seeing that through the use of Kayla Taylor and Salorio, who both have had some highlight-level blocks on the big Condor. Rounding out the top scorers for the Condors, Sophia Maldonado, who's got 6 points. She's 2 for 5 from the field, 2 for 4 from three-point range, though. And that's kind of where it counts for her so far in this game. She's got 3 assists and a rebound. The big rebounder for the Condors, though, is Victoria Gonzalez, who has 6 in this game and 5 points of her own. Rounding out the scoring for the Condors would be Bianca Naranjo, who has 2. She also has 2 rebounds, 2 assists. For the Bulldogs, who else is leading the scoring other than J.C. Bain? 24 points in the first half. She had 35 against the Brahmas, and this is no mirage. This is for real. She could be looking to surpass that tonight. Reset that career high once again. After all, maybe the last chance that she has, as playoffs are not a guarantee for these Bulldogs, as they did not win conference this year. In addition to those points, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. Second leading scorer might be a little bit more of a surprise for you if you didn't catch the first half of action, but she has been on point tonight. Jessica Early, 8 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. She's 3 for 3 with the ball in her hands and 2 for 2 beyond the three-point arc. Following that up is Carly Salorio, 8 points, 2 rebounds. Alex Paquette has 7 points, but 4 assists. She's really been a facilitator of the action tonight, dishing that ball all around. Kayla Taylor follows that up and finishes out our scoring with 5 points of her own, 2 rebounds and 2 assists, but they're at least 2 blocks. She may have had 3, depending on how they scored that first half. So that's our stats for the half. I mean, you look between these two teams, and the difference really is coming down to shooting. The clear shots going the way of Hancock in the first half, who scored 60% of their field goals. Compare that to the 48% of the Condors, and you get a pretty clear picture of what has been dictating the action in this game. Combine that with the points off turnovers, 5 for the Oxnard Condors, 22 for the Hancock Bulldogs. So that should give you a pretty good idea of what to expect here going into the second half. What needs to be fixed? For the Condors, they need to take control of that ball a little bit better. Find those open shots, get them to settle, because they're not getting them to sink at the same rate as the Bulldogs. For the Bulldogs, they've got to continue sinking those shots, and really, they've got to get more rebounds. And they're being actually out-rebounded by the Condors, and if you missed our pregame, Condors ranked 74th in the state. They only averaged 33.4 rebounds per game. That should have been a highlight area for the Bulldogs, something that they really could rely on going forward, especially with their shooting so much higher than their average. You can't rely on that to go the entire game. Bulldogs got a rebound. The Condors got to find a way to pass that ball a little bit more equally. Find those open passing lanes. So we'll be right back with more action from Joe White Memorial Gym on the campus of Allen Hancock College. My name's Stephen Hodges. Talk to you soon. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball and Athletics.HancockCollege.edu. As we're watching the Condors warm up, I just want to let you know, if you want to help support the hundreds of athletes at Hancock College and have a good time too, there's a way that you can do it. April 4th, we're going to be having a golf tournament that's going to go directly to support the athletes at Allen Hancock College. The golf is going to be played at a fantastic golf course down at Santa Maria Country Club. And we're even going to have the Final Four of the NCAA being played while you have dinner after the course. That not enough for you? Well, how about some amazing raffle prizes? After all, basketball is better in person, as Brian Dill nods along off to the side. Why not see it in person next year? 2023 NCAA Championship. Sound interested? Well, that is the prize for the raffle. You will have tickets to the 2023 National Championship for NCAA basketball. All you got to do is come play some golf, enjoy dinner, and, watch some basketball, just as you are now. So for more details, check out the website, athletics.allenhancockcollege.edu. Well, athletics.hancockcollege.edu, if I catch myself there, as we're going to have a fantastic time, and we hope that you're there to join us. Sponsorship opportunities as well as opportunities to play, or if you just want to watch and have dinner, there's an option there for you as well. Go ahead and check it out. Meanwhile, we'll be checking out the score of Hancock College at Ventura. That's where the men are at. Currently, they're about to head to halftime. All tied up. Ventura takes a 1-point lead, 37-38, the score down there. The men don't necessarily need to win out, but it certainly helped their case when it comes to playoffs. If they win out, then they're going to be the conference champions and guaranteed a spot in the playoffs going forward. For the women, they need to keep a strong resume, and that includes beating the Condors tonight. And you might be saying, hey, Steven, it's a 16-point lead. What are we really talking about here? Well, the Condors already erased a double-digit lead in the first quarter of this game. This one is far from being settled. These Condors fly, and they do not quit. This is their last game. They're trying to make it a memorable one. And overcoming a 16-point halftime deficit, that'd certainly be worth remembering, maybe even telling your kids about one day. So for the Bulldogs, they're looking to finish this one out. For the Condors, this isn't over yet. As the starters come back onto the court, we're getting ready for the second half of action. Alex Paquette's going to be doing the inbound. She's got a lot of help out there with J.C. Bain having a fantastic first half. See if she can continue it on. We talk about how great she's been at scoring. Well, she's on pace for the scoring record. 24 points in the first half. If she's able to replicate it, the scoring record for an individual game at Hancock for the women, 45 points. She gets 48, that's more. As she goes up to the rim, this one's off the front and into the hands of the Condors as Victoria Gonzalez with the rebound. Loomis going to be dribbling one-on-one against Salorio. She ends up getting it out to Naranjo. Naranjo dishes it out. This is Gonzalez off the rim. On the baseline, possession Bulldogs. So we'll be keeping an eye on J.C. Bain's chase of history. Her career high, 35 points, set on Friday against the L.A. Pierce Brahmas. Trying for even more history. See if she can reset that career high tonight. That's Alex Paquette to Salorio. Salorio back to Paquette. She finds Manis. Manis finds Bain. Bain looks to the rim as she always does and then immediately passes that out. Manis from the corner. Off the rim into the hands of the Condors. This is Victoria Gonzalez with her second rebound of the second half. Over to Stella Miranda. From range, good. Stella Miranda was a fantastic sharpshooter in the first half of this game. She had 15 in the first time these two teams played. She's already got 13 of her own tonight. J.C. Bain shrugs off and then gets pushed to the ground. She shrugs off that pain as well as she's going to get the ball right into her hands off a loose ball. This one's off the rim into the hands of Loomis, who then dictates it back to Stella Miranda. Miranda pump fakes back to Loomis. Loomis dishes it into the hands of Kayla Taylor. Taylor looking for Bain. Loses control. Battle on the ground between Bianca Naranjo and Kayla Taylor. Possession Condors off the jump ball. So Bianca Naranjo going to be inbounding this. I imagine she's looking for number 12 there, Stella Miranda. Instead, going to find Sofia Maldonado, who is the point guard for most of that first half. really did a good job facilitating that comeback that was then erased. So be a good idea to go back and reestablish that comeback. This is going to be a long shot by Victoria Gonzalez off the rim into the hands of J.C. Bain. Bain crossing half court. You got to imagine that the Condors are going to be playing a little bit tighter. They probably got a chance to look over those stats and realized, oh, really a lot of the points coming from one player. Probably should be tightening that defense a little bit. As they've come away from the zone, they're playing a lot more man here. Julian Manis from the free throw line gets it off the front of the rim into the hands of Carly Salorio. This is out to Bain. Bain trying to drive the lane. There's going to be a foul blown here. Going to be on blue 2. It's Bianca Naranjo. Her second personal. Not a lot of fouls in this game so far. Been pretty clear sailing for both teams. 3-point shot for J.C. Bain from the corner, but going to be Loomis with the rebound. We talked about how really you can't rely on that Bulldog shooting percentage of over 60% in the first half. You know, water finds its level as it's going to be a steal from Loomis. Salorio had it, and then Loomis grabbed her leg trying for the ball. I don't think there was any malice there, just couldn't quite get a handle. So, Alex Paquette with the inbound, and I think there was a little quick check on Kayla Taylor. Referee was entering her about something. I think they wanted to make sure that there's no blood. So it's Alex Paquette going to find Carly Salorio. Back to Paquette. Paquette, big-time player at Rigetti, has made a big career of herself here at Hancock. Even here early. It's going to be Manis trying to lay that one in. She draws the foul as she goes. I believe this is going to be on Naranjo. Be her third if that's the case. No, it's going to be Loomis who got her second. This is back-to-back fouls for her. So went from having a clean sheet to having 2 fouls in very quick fashion. As Manis going to get her first points of the night, going to come from the free throw line. Manis, pretty decent free throw shooter. Shoots around 70%. Gets both of them. So Condor's going to carry this the other way. This is Loomis in the backcourt. Powering along. She's going to try and go one-on-one with Manis. Manis, I think, got a little bit of a hand on it and lost the handle, and this is going to go the other way. No, never mind. Stella Miranda picking that up, getting a nice offensive rebound. This is going to be Victoria Gonzalez along the baseline, resetting the play up to the top where she finds a Stella Miranda. Naranjo looking for Loomis, ends up turning it over to Bain. So looked for one big scorer, found the other. Probably not so happy to see that engraved jersey. This Kayla Taylor getting wide open at the base of the basket, finds Bain. Kayla Taylor has got a fantastic wingspan and does a great job hunting out those passing lanes. As it's going to be Loomis going up with the ball, lost it, and just can't get this to settle. This has been the theme for the night for the Condors. Like I said, going into halftime, the Bulldogs over 60% shooting, where the Condors were under 50. We're going to have a 30-second timeout. We'll take a moment to thank our sponsors, Cool Hand Luke's and Home Motors Chevrolet. Thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball and Athletics at HancockCollege.edu. My name is Stephen Hodges, coming to you from the land of strawberries and tri-tip that is the Santa Maria Valley. The Bulldogs have possession here and a large lead over the Condors right now, 56-39, as a double team gets triggered, but Manis able to survive, but then turns it over. She got away from the double team, but Stella Miranda is going to get a steal there as Manis was looking for help that was not available. Blue jerseys aplenty. And Miranda going to be driving along the key here, up off the glass and into the hands of Salorio. Salorio, not the most flashy player when it comes to points, but is making things happen in the paint, making things happen with blocks and rebounds. As Alex Paquette back to the point, gonna find some help. J.C. Bain had the opportunity, but did not have the handle on the ball to get that off in time. As this can be Paquette along the baseline. Julia Manis, who stretches it up, resets the shot clock, but into the hands of the Condors, and the other way goes Maldonado. It's Alex Paquette, pride of Desiree Hitch, the head coach of Rigetti High School. Been in Santa Maria her whole life. Was defending there. Didn't end up getting the turnover, though. It's Victoria Gonzalez. Gets it to Stella Miranda, who looks inside to Loomis. Malika Loomis can't quite control. A lot of pressure from the Bulldogs. They try to force the jump ball, and that's, in fact, what's going to happen. A lot of contact in the process of that. A lot of people unhappy, but, just because people are unhappy doesn't mean anything's going to change. As we're going to see a substitution here with Jessica Early coming back on. Julia Manis subbing out. Jessica Early was fantastic in the first half. 8 points, second leading scorer behind Bain, and that's still where she sits. J.C. Bain's got 24, and Jessica Early's got 8. That's his leading scorers for Hancock. Going to be a 30-second timeout here for Hancock. I think they're going to regroup. I don't think they're scoring at the pace that they want, so Norelli's going to take a chance and talk it over. Take this moment to thank Oxford Sweets. Oxford Sweets, thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Want to know how to make events like this possible? Well, one of the great ways is by playing golf. April 4th, join us at Santa Maria Country Club, where we're going to be playing some golf to support the hundreds of athletes. As Kayla Taylor, off the rim, had a clear shot, gets her own rebound again. Make it third time the charm? No, not the case. Going the other way is Stella Miranda with the rebound there, and the Condors in control. Stella Miranda drops it down to Maldonado. Maldonado looked for some room, couldn't find it. As it's going to be Loomis. Loomis along the baseline, going to be off the glass into the hands of Carly Salorio. Not a lot of points here in the second half yet, as it's going to be Alex Paquette with some room and a little layup. A lot of room for that player there, as Alex had some speed and just beat her defender. Stella Miranda looking for some help, not finding it though. And as we talk about Alex Paquette, playing firm defense here. One of the things I always enjoy watching Paquette is her ability to recover from mistakes. She always is such a high effort player, and sometimes she'll get caught. It's going to be Carly Salorio taking the ball off Loomis, and you look at players that should be stepping up more. That's one of those opportunities that's going to start counting against the Condors as the seconds count off. But Alex Paquette always wanted to eagerly get back, eagerly go try and fix mistakes. Doesn't just accept that something went wrong. Tries to fix it very quickly. Very focused player in that regard. As coming the other way, it's going to be Maldonado. Maldonado driving the key on Kayla Taylor and going to be up off the glass and rim and into the hands of the Bulldogs. Their gray jerseys flying all over the place tonight. Bain with a no-look pass to Salorio. That's how it's supposed to look. Fantastic assist by Bain. Salorio making good on the promise there. Going to be Maldonado now, trying to get into the front court. They've been having issues breaking the pressure, but now Maldonado with a just easy shot next to the key as they kept moving the ball well. Eventually broke that Bulldog pressure, which has been wearing on the Condors heavily. Kayla Taylor in the key. Going to find Salorio. No shot. Too many steps for Kayla Taylor. I think she just picked up that pivot a little too soon, but a well-made play otherwise. It tends to help when you can break the rules to make plays happen, but that's another subject. Sophia Maldonado tries to get it to the baseline, and she does, but no player to be found. This is going to be a turnover. As Alex Paquette on a long walk to go get that ball. Going to bring us to a full timeout. So we'll go ahead and thank our sponsor, Community Bank of Santa Maria. home of Santa Maria style banking, thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to athletics.hancockcollege.edu. We're in the sunny valley of Santa Maria, where we find ourselves in Joe White Memorial Gymnasium, home of the Allen Hancock College Bulldogs, where the women currently lead Oxnard 60-41. Not a lot of action here in the second half quite yet, as there's 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Jessica Early is going to find J.C. Bain. J.C. Bain dishes back out to Alex Paquette. Bain along the free throw line, no look pass to Salorio, and Bain really showing off her passing acumen more than her shooting acumen here in the second half. Of course, her shooting showed off quite well in the first half. And this is going to go to Naranjo. Naranjo with a layup off the glass into the hands of Alex Paquette. Or excuse me, as J.C. Bain to Alex Paquette. Jessica Early is going to have it in the corner. She's working it back out, and this is going to be a foul on Maldonado. And bumped into Jessica Early just a little bit too much. The perfect shooter so far in this game is Jessica Early. 3 for 3, 2 for 2 from three-point range. You got to respect that. Alex Paquette gonna try and drive the lane. She's gonna run into a flurry of blue jerseys. Doesn't matter though, as the ball's gonna sink. A beautiful layup through 4 Condors. And this is gonna be a foul. Looks like it will be on Krista Anderson, who entered during the timeout. Krista Anderson, the Oakdale High School graduate. Not a normal presence here on the Central Coast, people from Oakdale, but she's been a fantastic presence for the Bulldogs. Really one of those energy players that you can insert into the lineup late into the game and get the team really going. This is going to be Loomis penetrating the key and getting an easy layup. The other way goes Paquette. He's going to drive and generate some room before getting it to Jessica Early. Down to Chris Anderson. Back to J.C. Bain. To the top of the three-point arc is Alex Paquette. Paquette through 3 Condors. Twice in a row now. Multiple Condors have flocked around Paquette, and she's just found a way through them. And here's the ball on the ground, and it's Paquette picking it up. A beautiful steal to J.C. Bain. J.C. Bain in the key. Count it in the foul. Bulldogs coming to life here late in the third quarter. 66-43, and J.C. Bain back to the line. Something we are keeping an eye on. She is now 6 points away from 1,000 at Hancock. Make it 5. Longtime Bulldog in her 3rd season, sophomore season plus, as some people have started calling it. J.C. Bain's been a fantastic player and is making a career here, as this is going to be Loomis losing the ball. Jessica Early got a hand on that, and Bain with the feed, but unfortunately, just a bit of a hitch in the step for Jessica Early. Leads to a bad throw, and that's a turnover. Condor ball. Condors charging back the other way. This is going to be Maldonado looking to make some action happen as the energy back up high. And this is going to be a foul on Jessica Early. I believe it'll be her first. Take a quick look down south as the second half has tipped off in Ventura. Bulldogs currently trail only by 1. 18:38 left there. Is a long three-point attempt by Stella Miranda. Doesn't hit the mark. It's going to go the other way. Krista Anderson with the rebound. J.C. Bain trying to cross that plateau. Needs 5 more points to get 1,000 in her career here. For 3. No. There's going to be a block called. Going to be an offensive block. So it's going to go the other way. Illegal moving screen would be the technical foul for that. Sophia Maldonado looking for room. They're not aware of the clock from the looks of it. They really took their time to break that full court press. Took a little bit too long. No real shot attempt. And that's going to be it for the third quarter. Condors got quite a mountain to fly up, but those solar winds can help out. We'll see how this one finishes up as we're getting into the fourth quarter here in Santa Maria. Score is 67-43. You're watching Bulldog basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. So far, economics class is in. And let me tell you the economics story here, Brian Dill. Diminishing returns. Quarter by quarter, Oxnard has been struggling to get the ball in the basket. They scored 21 in the first, 15 in the second, only 7 in that third quarter. As the Bulldogs have scored 24, 28, and 15 in that time, outscoring them in each of the frames. It's a trend that the Condors will need to reverse immediately if they want to see some positive results here in the final game of the season for the Condors. It's going to be Stella Miranda looking at 4 Condors lined up in a line, and she's going to get to the leftmost one, Maldonado. This shot going to be by Gonzalez, going to sink. So starting to trend in the right direction here, but Alex Paquette going to have something to say about that. She's directing action to Jessica Early. J.C. Bain now in the key, fires this one in and out of the rim. Salorio going to have it. That's going to be a jump ball forced by Maldonado. I didn't see her hand on that one, but the referee had a much better angle. Alex Paquette. Along the line, she's going to find J.C. Bain at the top of the arc. And they're going to say there's an illegal block there. Trying to see who that is charged on, because that was a strange one. I think it was on Krista Anderson. No, in fact, that's going to be on Jessica Early. Krista Anderson subbing out. In comes Kayla Taylor. And this ball is going to be turned over right into the hands of Jessica Early. We talk about how good she is off the ball. That's a great example right there. Alex Paquette to J.C. Bain. Bain looking for just a few more points across that 1K threshold. Jessica Early from the corner. This one off the rim. Her first missed shot of the night. You know, if I have an option of when I want to start missing shots, fourth quarter, not a bad time. Make them all the way through there. As it's going to be a long shot here by Maldonado. Good for 3. Kayla Taylor inbounds to Alex Paquette. She's going to find J.C. Bain with some room, but Bain immediately swarmed upon by the Condors. Really, that right side has been quite a tough area to sled through for the Bulldogs. Alex Paquette's done it a couple times, though, and with great success. This could be Miranda putting the shoulder into Alex Paquette, but Paquette going to be the one taking the foul here. Block instead of a charge. Stella Miranda going to the line. Stella Miranda, 63% shooter from the free throw line. First one's good. Second one's going to sink as well. So Kayla Taylor in for the inbound. Gets it to J.C. Bain. Bain not pressured at all. Really no pressure on the backcourt this entire game for the Bulldogs. Not part of the Condors' plan tonight. Paquette looks for the shot from range. Jessica Early from the arc. J.C. Bain at the top. This one will sink. 2 points away from 1,000 for J.C. Bain. This one attempted to get to the front court by Maldonado. Paquette got a hand on it, and it's going to be white ball. Blue ball. Never mind, they're going to give it to the Condors. J.C. Bain's first foul of the game. And the Bulldogs to a clean 20-point lead, 70-50. Naranjo trying to drive the lane is repelled by, looks like Salorio, and it is. This is going to be Loomis from just outside the paint, and it's not going to settle. The St. Bonaventure product has not been a major factor on the scoreboard tonight, and she needed to be. She's had the ball in her hands quite a bit. And it's J.C. Bain for 1001! Bulldog breaking a huge milestone. J.C. Bain, she has been a star the entire time she's been here. What a player, what a night for her. Looking to break her personal scoring record. Let's see where she is on that track. 33 points. As this could be Loomis sinking that basket the other way. 73-52. So J.C. Bain needs 2 to tie her own personal scoring record, 3 to surpass it as she gets it to Manis. J.C. down to Kayla Taylor, finds Salorio. Salorio off the backboard and in. Nice ball movement there by the Bulldogs. Just touch passes, one after the other. It's one of the benefits of having a short bench, as Coach Norelli often has, is the girls really get to know each other. You can see it there, anticipating where the movement was going to be before it happened. Long shot here by Maldonado off the backboard into the hands of Kayla Taylor. J.C. Bain, one of the tougher players you're going to ever meet, setting a huge number of career points here tonight and possibly resetting her own personal record for college points. Entering the game now, Naomi Navarro for the Condors. She's going to be taking the place of Victoria Gonzalez, who's been a little quiet here in the fourth quarter, so an understandable substitution for the Condors. It's going to be Naranjo turning it over to Manis. Manis looking to make something happen with some pace to J.C. Bain. Bain drives the lane off the side as she's pushed down and draws the foul. So potentially could tie her career record for points in a single game once again if she sinks both of these. And we've seen her make them both before quite a few times. First one's good. Take another quick look at the Ventura-Hancock game. Still remains close, 45-50. Hancock trails in that one. And JC makes the second one. So this is going to tie her record for career points that she set on Friday. So chance to reset the record book again. And JC gets a steal here. She's going to drive the lane. Up, off the glass, and in. New personal record for J.C. Bain, and she's still chasing history. This should be up to 37 as the stats are refreshing. And then potentially an additional point. So that one's going to count. J.C. Bain now should just be a handful of points away from the all-time school record. 45 points in a game is where that stands. It's going to be Stella Miranda drawing a foul off of J.C. Bain, though, who's getting a little hungrier out there as this game goes on. 6:13 left. Bulldogs lead 80-52. So J.C. doesn't really need the points, but boy, we'd all enjoy seeing her do it. It's going to be Maldonado looking for a lane against J.C. Bain. Hands it off, and another foul. And the Condors are into the bonus. So J.C. Bain trying to chase history, and instead is chasing her own tail, trying to stay in this game now as she's fouled quite a few times in the last few minutes. Naranjo off the front of the rim and in. Not the greatest free throw shooter on the team, but nothing to shrug out either. 56% from the line this year. Into the hands of Salorio. This is going to go the other way. It's going to be Alex Paquette driving the lane outside of the key. Going to draw the foul instead. This was a very clean game to start, and since then, we've been seeing quite a number of fouls come out. Should be 2 shots here for Alex Paquette. She is rising for the shot, and indeed, they're going to put her to the line. Paquette, 75% from the line. She'll make this one. So far in this game, she's the second leading scorer for the Bulldogs. We've been talking about Bain quite a bit, but Paquette has 15 of her own now. 5 assists. Been really a fantastic player as she almost gets a steal there. Always hungry for the ball and always hustling. Like I said, Paquette, really a fantastic player. If you just isolate her and watch her, you're going to learn a lot about basketball. This could be a long shot by Miranda off the rim into the hands of J.C. Bain. Haven't been talking much about J.C. Bain's stat line. That's her 7th rebound, 10 assists, 38 points so far. Into the hands of Julia Manis. Manis for a long 2, off the rim, into the hands of J.C. Bain. Bain turns and shoots off the back of the rim. Salorio had a chance at it, but instead it's going to go to Alex Paquette. Paquette looking for some help. She sees Kayla Taylor, indeed gets that ball out to her. Salorio up beyond the arc, somewhere that she rarely travels, but it's going to be Paquette taking the shot for a long 3. Paquette, 18 points in this game. Really been a fantastic player. And swarmed in the backcourt is Stella Miranda, Kayla Taylor, and Julia Manis springing the trap. We've been talking about that full court press. There it's on full display. And entering the game now, Francesca Palacios came in a relief effort against the Brahmas. Also played very well. It was a full team effort, and she was definitely part of that effort. It's going to be Estelle Miranda in the front court by the free throw line. Going to be driving on J.C. Bain, who just lets the shot go up. She's in foul trouble now after a very clean sheet through 3. Not so squeaky clean now. She's got 3 fouls. J.C. Bain gets it to Alex Paquette. To Bain along the baseline. To Kayla Taylor. Dishes it out to Salorio off the backboard and out. Maldonado is going to have it. Maldonado has 13 points of her own, but she turns it over to Kayla Taylor. Taylor knocked to the ground. That was a pretty aggressive block there by Estelle Miranda. Frustration showing on her face. It's Alex Paquette with the inbound. Only the 2nd foul for Miranda, so she's doing fine, but that was a very aggressive step that she took. J.C. Bain gathers herself, gets it over to Palacios. To Taylor, back to Bain. Bain feeds Salorio, but Salorio can't quite get a handle as the ball's knocked out of her hands by Naomi Navarro. Will be Bulldog ball. This is Bain. Into Kayla Taylor. Taylor turns, shoots, off the backboard and in. J.C. Bain's going to gather another assist there, her 11th. So she's on the verge of a triple-double. Just needs a couple more rebounds to make that happen. Something you really see in the women's game is she gets a hand on the ball there. Is Maldonado trying to make a play happen along the outside, but Bain with a strong wingspan preventing that. It's Naranjo back to Maldonado. Maldonado inside the key. Tries to get it up. Kayla Taylor with a block into the hands of Salorio, and this is coming back the other way for J.C. Bain. She's going to give it back to Alex Paquette. Paquette drives, gets the space, dishes it back out. Kayla Taylor down underneath the basket. They're moving the ball well. Alex Paquette with room and a very high shot. That was a beauty. Alex Paquette over 20 points now, 21 on the night. Naranjo trying to take a little bit of time, see if those passing lanes open up, and eventually she gets the easy one to Miranda. Stella Miranda been the big shooter for the Condors tonight, 18 points. Maldonado going to have to fire it as the shot clock winds down off the rim. That's going to reset it to 30. And Estelle Miranda has the ball. Timeout, Condors, full timeout. Take a moment to thank our sponsors, California Electric Supply. Thank you for making athletics at Hancock College possible. Right now it's a 37-point lead for the Bulldogs, 90-53. We'll check the score over down south with the Pirates, where the Bulldogs trail 49-54. 12:50 left in that one for the men. We'll take a quick break and be right back. You're watching Bulldog basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Basketball on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. You want to help make more events like this possible? Well, you can do it while having fun too. Our Bulldog Golf Classic is going to be happening April 4th. You can buy your tickets now for just the dinner. You can go play just the course, go compete in the tournament. You can sponsor the event. All these options and more. Check out the information on athletics.hancockcollege.edu as the inbound comes in. And it's going to be Victoria Gonzalez taking a long shot into the hands of J.C. Bain. That'll give her 9 rebounds, 1 away from a triple-double. As J.C.'s going to give it to Jessica Early. Early going to find Taylor. Kayla Taylor to Palacios. Palacios back to J.C. Bain. Bain feeds Kayla Taylor in for the score. Kayla Taylor, I predicted, was going to be a major factor in this game. She scored fantastically, but despite being in double digits, she's the 4th leading scorer for the Bulldogs behind Paquette and Salorio. And it's going to be a long 3-point shot for Miranda. Back into the hands of Naranjo. And she's going to score that one. Inbounding the game is J.C. Bain, who gets it to Jessica Early, and Early gives it right back. Looking to set something up with their half-court offense. Bain could use a few more points to cement her spot in the history book. This is going to get her to 40. Easily a top 10 performance of Bulldogs all time. And this is going to be a turnover. A off-mark pass by Victoria Gonzalez going to result in Bulldog ball. And we all are watching number 23. The Roy Grande Eagle showing what big birds can do against the Condors. She's been fantastic tonight. 40 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists, and she's looking to add more points here. It's big for 3. She's 2 points away from the school record. Only a minute left, though, so she's racing the clock for history. This is going to be Gonzalez. Along the outside, Kayla Taylor, J.C. Bain guarding there real close. A quick steal there would make a big difference in the books. And going to be a foul on J.C. Bain, unfortunately, sending Stella Miranda back to the line. 63% shooter. So one of these where the result is certain, but the ramifications are unknown for this game. You have the playoff picture to look at, which a big win like this over a conference foe like the Condors always means good things. And there is a human factor to these things. So when the committee gets together, they're going to be looking at these games like the Brahmas and the Condors. Did the Bulldogs rise to the occasion? Oh, yeah, they did. Currently leading by 40 with 38 seconds left. J.C. Bain can get this going here. She can rewrite her name in the books. For 3, off the rim. J.C. Bain, right into the hands of Naranjo. Naranjo takes it to length. She'll lay it in. Time left, though. 18 seconds. J.C. Bain looking for a shot beyond the 3-point arc to cement her place as the top dog. Just misses the rim. 7.5-second Condor ball. I imagine they're going to hold this one. So J.C. Bain tied for probably at worst 3rd place all time in the Bulldog history books. 43 points. Needed 45 for the record, but I think she'll take 43. Fantastic performance by the Bulldogs tonight. A whole team effort. You see the top line like that? It's very easy to sit there and say, hey, she did great. But really, Alex Paquette, Calissa Salorio, Kayla Taylor, Jessica Early, Julia Manis, Francesca Palacios, and Krista Anderson all contributing to a team win and a fantastic conclusion to the season for the Bulldogs. So we're going to have a special presentation here at Center Court.
Let's have a big round of applause for Allen Hancock College sophomore J.C. Bain.
Well, there you have it. J.C. Bain being memorialized as one of the top dogs of all time here at Hancock College. As a 3-pointer would have also given him triple digits on the scoreboard. and her place as the top leading scorer in a single game. However, I think they're going to be happy with the win. For the women of Hancock, playoffs are an almost certainty at this point, but it's going to come down to a committee of people, and they're going to look at a number of things. Polls, RPI, quality wins, just all sorts of weird stats. And I always joke on various things that they're just going to meet at an IHOP, throw it all down, have a fight, and then go home. And whatever the results are, that's what we're going to hear about. So that's the end of the regular season here for the women. However, if you still want more Bulldog basketball, I've got great news for you. The men have 2 games left, one against Oxnard on Wednesday. That's going to be on the road. But you can join me and Brian Dill on Friday. They're going to be playing Ventura here at Joe White Memorial Gym. We'd hope to see you in person. If you can't, the live stream is going to be up. We're going to be here in the VIP suite, and we're going to be watching some Ventura basketball. Speaking of which, let's check back in on that game as the Bulldogs are down by 10, 62-53, as it swings to a 9-point lead, actually, making me feel like a fool. So the Bulldogs in great spot on the women's side to make the playoffs. The men might need a little bit of help. We'll have a clear picture on that when we come back on Friday, right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. On behalf of all the staff here at Hancock, we want to thank you for starting your night here. And as we send you off to go anywhere, the head coach for the Bulldogs is Carrie Norelli. Our sports information is directed by Shelby Scott. Our big cheese is Kim Ensing, our athletic director. And our producer tonight was Brian Dill. I've been Stephen Hodges. Thank you for spending your evening with us. Have a good night.